Welcome everyone to Friday's Inspiration, TGIF. We are here for another pop-up Q&A, so for those of you who have questions, be sure to post them either live on Instagram or on Facebook. So while we're getting started, waiting for everyone to show up, hey Crystal, Mercury, and all the rest of you are showing up. So if you have a question, post it. I just wanted to talk about something that's recent for me. So just like you guys, I also go through things. And it's no wonder that I'm in the middle of this 3-month mentoring program. I have my own intentions for this program as well. I want to manifest certain things. And so it's kind of interesting that we're in our 3rd week, and so this is each week we're talking about various chakras, and so this week happened to be all about the 2nd chakra. So those are the energies of our creative energy primarily, but also emotional energy and also sexual energy. And so each week it's inevitable that whatever we're working on, those energies are going to show up in a way so that not only those in the class, but myself are going to be able to work through some energies to bring us even deeper into our life purpose, our joy, etc. So, hey Janice, good to have you here. So it's kind of interesting that this week was all about 2nd chakra. And I noticed that for myself, a lot of emotional energy this week, a lot of anger, maybe partly because of all the fires, and when you go outside and you're reminded, and it's a repeat of 3 years ago, and you can feel all the trauma. Us empaths, we feel everything that's going on. And so it was a great opportunity to get stirred up again and find some of these places that really wanted more clearing. That so it was we did a lot of work around past life traumas and energies. With our group, there were about 20 past lives that we cleared, where we'd been killed over and over and over for all these things that we're going through right now. We're trying to step into the power of our voice, our influential voice, and into our ultimate power, and coming from our hearts. And so, all of this stuff is up just on a whole nother level, not only for everyone in our class, but also for myself. So it's been an interesting week, a lot of emotional stuff. And this is how we do the work. I'm doing the work right along with all of you. Maybe on a different level, but it doesn't matter. It's the same energies. We all feel oppressed by what's going on out there. And so, it's sort of my job, my responsibility as a light worker, healer on the planet at this time, is to continue to heal myself while I'm stepping into ways that I can help you do the same, so that we can feel more into our hearts, and we can have more compassion for people who are afraid, and they don't know what's going on, and they have been bamboozled and brainwashed. And so, having been born and raised in a religious cult, and then when I got out, I was very intent on never being controlled again. So I know very well how cults work. I ran a support group for every month for 9 years. So I know a lot about cults, and we are in a global cult. And a lot of people don't know how to get out. And so we just keep coming here to raise our vibrations, to be inspired in spite of all the garbage that's going on out there. All right, let's see what questions we have. Olita, okay, this is, I don't think I've worked on you. Let's see what you have. Why do they kill so many black people? So I see you are of color, Olita, so this feels like a relevant question for you. The truth is that all kinds of people are being killed, and the black race has been a predominantly repressed culture for a long time. Women in general have also felt the same. Who is it that's being sex trafficked out there? It's not men primarily, it's women and children. So, you know, it all depends on what we want to focus on who's being oppressed. And the more important thing is, how do we heal all of these? Because every culture, there's lots of different groups that feel oppressed. And the more important thing is that we rise above all of this heavy, dark energy. They want to keep us distracted, down in all of the chaos and the anger. And they keep doing it because it's effective at stirring the anger pot and the fear. Those are the two primary energies that this oppressive influence feeds on. So they're going to target the ones that are going to create the most anger. And so right now, that seems to be the target that they're using. But women and children are also right up there. And, you know, if you look at throughout history, there's been lots of cultures. You know, the Jewish culture, of course, that was nearly obliterated. The Native American culture, many millions more of Native Americans have been killed than the Jews. So, you know, all of it is about to end. That's the beauty, is that all of it is ending. And it's getting uglier while it's ending. All the garbage is getting taken out. So all of these oppressors are showing their cards before they finally get taken out. So they're getting desperate, and that's the unfortunate thing that's happening. Let's see, Janice, have been doing the 20-minute meditation, usually twice a day, and the fear meditation every night. Would like to see if my energy is shifting. Also, if there's anything holding me back from sharing my gifts with others. So that's a big question, but let's take a look at a few things. So I do recall that there was a lot of martyr energy in your energy field. So let's measure that. That's down to 15%. So that's actually a great deal of progress. And you've been doing the anger exercise, so let's measure that. That's also at 15%. So that's really great. And it's hard to feel those energies when they're down in those lower percentages of 15%. You might not even notice it at all. But that's the beauty of the numbers and being able to count, is that then we can get all of it. So for you, we'll just do these two, the martyr and the anger. One and anger. So fortunately, they're both in the same place. And this is where a lot of you are holding energies, is right in that root chakra at the base of your spine, all the way out to that third layer. So for you, let's pull that worry circle in with the martyr energy. So if any of you are working harder than you need to, this would be a great energy to clear the martyr and the anger. And so Lolita, this would, let me also measure your anger too, because I know that this can be very infuriating, what's going on. The injustice is very angry making. Yeah, it's up around 95% for Olita. We're just clearing all of these energies at the same time. So yours, Lolita, is also, it's Olita, sorry, in that root chakra out to that third layer. So any of you who are feeling angry and upset about the injustices we see, pull in that worry circle at the third layer of our aura, and we're just going to pull that in, and we're just going to send the energies down our grounding. So Olita, you are missing a grounding cord, so that's going to make you feel the energies even more. So I'm giving you a grounding cord, Olita. Just keep breathing and releasing. There's a lot of energy there. And right now it hasn't had a place to go. It's just been like circulating around and around with no place for it to go. So I'm helping you get that grounding cord all the way to the center of the earth. And you can do this on a regular basis. In fact, if you haven't gotten the 20-minute meditation that Janice is talking about, be sure to sign up for that. Roma will usually post it. And then you can sign up for that and listen to it every day. Janice does it a couple times a day. And so she's making some progress just by doing that. So let's see, Janice. So Janice, your martyr and anger are down to 0. So great job. So keep up the great work. And when you're ready, we can really dive into some deeper things. So I'm still working on Olita. There's big energies there out to that 3rd layer at your root chakra. So this is the energy where you feel powerless. And it's become an energy that has infiltrated like your whole culture. And it's been carried on for centuries, right? So we're just going to pull that energy in at the core. There's a part of you that's not ready to let go of all that anger, because there's a part of you that says that if I let go of that anger, it's like it's not like forgiving, but you're holding on to the anger so that you'll never allow that to happen again. You'll never allow that to happen to you, for you to be abused or diminished because of the color of your skin. And the truth is that this anger is not really serving you, because what it's doing, and I know this might be hard to hear or understand this because it is such a big issue right now, and I don't want to diminish what's going on in any way. And at the same time, this anger is preventing you from elevating your vibration, which is going to affect your ability to make money. All of this anger is like the opposite of flow and abundance. So if you're holding a lot of anger so that people won't abuse you again, it's bringing down the energy of your whole energy field. And that is not serving you. It's really hard on your nervous system, and it doesn't feel good to even be in that energy. So when you start to use the power of your influential voice as it comes from your heart, this is how we set really clear boundaries. And there. So now you've let go of a bunch of that anger. So great job. So let's see where your anger is now, Olita. It's down to 15%. And if you could just post in the comments if you feel a difference in that, like all of that anger you were holding to like now it's almost gone. Like maybe you can take a deep breath now and feel a little bit calmer. And so that's the whole point of coming here for all of you that come here on a regular basis, is to feel into these higher vibrations where there is joy in spite of everything that's going on around us. And yes, we might dip down into those lower vibrations from time to time, and then we come up again and we go, yeah, I don't think I want to be down there for very long. It's not a fun place to be, and it certainly doesn't serve us. So just releasing some additional energy there. Sorry. Not that I need to apologize for anything, but anyway. Okay, great. Yeah, you're almost let go of that. So that was a big jump for you. So you need to, for you, holding on to that little bit is a good transition for you. So get that meditation and start releasing more of these energies on a regular basis. You'll feel so much better. Okay, Tara, tell me how you see this ending playing out. Well, the way I see it is that it's going to get worse before it gets better, and so I say that with a great deal of caution, and because some people, they get triggered by what I say, and I've had some people comment that I talk a lot about scary things and that I'm making people fearful, etc. One thing you need to remember is that I am not making anyone feel anything. All I'm doing here is sharing truths, and if that triggers you, it's only triggering things that are already there. And so that's the whole point of coming here over and over is, yeah, get triggered and then come here and like let all this stuff go. So that's kind of the whole point of this. So I do see things getting worse before they get better. I believe that, and not that I'm a prophet, I just know how these energies work, how these oppressive, desperate energies work. People who have a severe addiction, anybody who's severely addicted, when you start taking their source of their addiction away, they can get very, very desperate. We don't know how that's going to play out or how severe that will get, or when the president will pull out other cards that he's playing at just the right time. So I don't know how that's going to look, but a few things that I have a feeling are going to happen is there's going to be more fires. They'll bring in either more storms or more reasons to have more fires. If you've noticed on the fire map, these fires are not, it's very strategically placed around the whole perimeter of the San Francisco Bay Area so that it can affect a massive amount of densely populated area, same as in Los Angeles. So these are very strategically done in a way that will affect us in an adverse way, affect the most amount of people. So I believe that it's very possible that they're going to bring back the fires, and also that this next wave that they are talking about, it's not just me, they are talking about this next wave, referring to the virus, that it will be worse than the first one. They've already said that. They said that they're going to get your attention with this next one. And I believe it's with the intention of making people afraid enough that they're going to beg for the vaccine, because they're going to be so afraid they're going to think that that's the only answer. And so people who are not doing their research into what's really in the vaccines, and people who have come forward to say, people who have engineered the products that are going to be putting that mark on you for the vaccination to prove that you've been vaccinated. This is all part of an identification system. In fact, COVID actually stands for Certificate of Virus Identification. So they're going to be using this technology, this tattoo technology that is going to be monitoring everybody. So how far they're actually going to get along all this timeline, we have no idea. But the main thing is that all of what's going on, the 1%, the reptilian energies, that's all a manifestation of the collective consciousness. So I've been seeing the collective consciousness raise their energy. In the last 2 years, it's gone from about 40, I think it was 43%, 40 something percent, that were kind of awake to the game that's kind of going on. And now it's up around 65%. So the collective consciousness as a group is raising their vibration. And we don't need everybody to be awake for this shift to happen. It's already happening. kind of liken it to that herd mentality. You know, at what point does the herd, like you have a whole herd of wildebeests, and at some point they all in unison start to move in the direction of water. They start to go and get water. And this happens when the whole group consciousness of, say, the wildebeest gets past the 50% line into that 51%, and then they start leaning in that direction, and then they go get water. Well, we are already well past that point. We're well past that 50% mark. We're up around 65% of people who are awake to this game. Maybe they don't know what the whole game is, but they know something's going on. And so now, and as Dr. David Hawkins mentioned in his book, Power versus Force, it only takes relatively few people in comparison to the rest of the collective to affect humanity in a positive way. And so more and more people are not only getting awake to the game, but are being more conscious to their gifts and to their ultimate power and their senses. You know, we have the capacity for 360 senses. And, you know, they're trying to push down our senses by introducing more technologies. Just saw one the other day that is meant to kind of help our energy vibrations, etc. But it's also making us rely on technology. We have the capacity to know infinite number of things and sense things, and our infinite intelligence is so powerful. This is why they want to push us down. This is why they attack the heart and our root, and our sixth chakra, how we think. Those three are the three main areas where they're pushing down so that we are not in our power. They're afraid of us. They're afraid of how powerful we are. And so they're going to get desperate. How that's going to play out, I don't know. We'll see. But that should not be our focus. Our focus should be on how to keep our vibration high, how to be a beacon of light amongst total chaos and people unraveling and people who are afraid, that we can be that beacon of light to show what's possible amidst all of this insanity. Yes, I wear an ankh. I got this in Egypt when I went there just before the lockdown. So I got some really great energies in Egypt. I was there for 10 days, I believe it was. 10 days, yep. And really got some great downloads. And so it's no accident where Spirit directs me and how I listen to where I'm being led so that I can continue to be amplified. So yes, I also believe that the vaccine is not the answer. But people need to do their research. Do their research. Don't just not do it, or do it because someone tells you to. Do it because you're convinced that it's not a wise decision. That's why you should do it. Okay, let's see Instagram. Let's see what else we have here. Deja vu, okay. Oh, lots of people, great. Question, have you done temperature reports for Harris and Biden? Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, if you can just hold on 1 second, I will pull it up and tell you exactly what it is. Because it is, oops, that's not the one I want. Hang on just 1 second. Oops. I want to get the actual numbers. So Biden is an adrenochrome addict, for those of you who are not aware of that. Okay, here we go. And I don't have my glasses, but we can go like that. We can increase it. Okay, great. So hang on. Put this over here. My stand broke this morning. Okay, so we are, okay, there we go. Hang on. So, Biden. He's at 50% guilt and shame. Hang on a second. 50% anger, fear, and martyr. One of the things I've noticed is that when everything is like at a 50% across the board, that's those are outside influences that are controlling where he's at. So one of the things too is that he is inundated with 50 fear entities, and he is an adrenochrome addict. I did say that. He is at a minus 30. So when the ascension, when I talk about ascension, there's either a plus 30 or a minus 30, and this is something that can be measured not only before you die, but even after you die. So Hitler is at a minus 30. So that's the same as Biden. And yes, so that's pretty much that. Okay. And then the other one was Camilla. Let's see where she is. Did a bunch of these. Glasses on. Okay, there she is. So she is has 100% guilt of what? I do not know. 100% anger, 100% martyr, 50% shame and fear. She's only 15% in her body. I just want to check Biden again, 50%. Okay, she's 15% in her body, 15% conscious, and her heart is only open 5%. She is not an adrenochrome addict, but she is also fear entities. Hang on. I didn't measure fear entities. Yeah, she has 50. Well, that makes sense. And also, this is another going out on a limb one on this. Very high percentage on the AI, artificial intelligence. Now, I don't know enough about artificial intelligence to even know how it works. But I trust the numbers. And so that's, she is being controlled through artificial intelligence. So, you know, they have all these technologies. They can use tattoos to track you and monitor you. And so she's being controlled. And there you go. Okay, let's see what else we have here. I hope that answered your question. Experiencing delays with receiving. Crystal. Hey, Kate. Good to have you here. So, Crystal, your receiving channel, it comes into your left arm. You're great at giving. Your left arm, and then it comes up to the elbow. So it's like you're partially receiving, but you're not receiving all the way. So bring the circle all the way up through the shoulder, through the front and back of the heart, throat. So you can ask for what you need. And then 6th chakra, crown, rings. Okay, good. That should help. And do not consent. I do not consent either. I will never consent to vaccines. I've done a lot of traveling, and I always do it without haven't needed to vaccinate yet. They haven't made that mandatory, but I've had such a rough time with the masks that I chose to buy a car. You're welcome, Crystal. Chose to buy a car over flying. So I've suspended flying for the time being until we see things change. But if you look at what happened when all the terrorists were, that was the rage, was all the terrorists. That was what we should have been afraid of back in the day, was all about terrorists. And then they brought in all of this stuff around flying, so that then you have to go through the machines. You can't bring anything more than a few ounces. A big tube of toothpaste is going to get confiscated if it's more than 4 ounces. So, all of that silly stuff that doesn't make sense, they never rolled it back, right? So they just kept that going. So people that think that the mask thing is going to go away, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away until people say, I'm not having it. I'm not going to do it anymore. And so I've been challenged with that this week, and so it's really more about, for me, realizing that people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and my opinion about it is not gonna change how they feel. And so it's, you just pick your battles, and don't go to places that make it a big deal. You just have to pick and choose how important are those groceries? How important is that thing that you want to get? So yeah, they're gonna keep making it more and more difficult. The mask is not going away, just like they didn't roll away the whole thing in the airport. So any other questions? Did anybody else want to peek at something? What is Trump's temperature report? So, Janice, I was surprised by Trump's temperature myself. As a matter of fact, he was one of the first ones that I think I posted. Well, actually, no, he wasn't. The Queen, I think, was the first one I posted. It's not good. But it's been, for those of you who don't know what Trump's numbers are, if you're, this is not to sway people one way or the other, and all of these numbers are not to, I'm not even political. Like, I was born and raised without politics. I was born and raised as a Jehovah's Witness. We didn't do politics. I don't know anything about politics. So in sending these numbers out there is not to create some political sway one way or the other. It's just to create more information, more knowledge, so that you can make an informed choice. That's all. Once I got these numbers on Trump, I changed my mind. I did believe all of the lies and stuff that were being said about him. And so after I got these numbers, I started to measure what I was choosing to listen about him, or like videos or things I would read. I measure it first. How much truth is here? If it's only 50% truth, I'm probably not going to read it, because that this is how they do this. They mix a bunch of garbage with some half-truths, and so you don't know what's what. And so then it all becomes either a very believable thing, then if this is true, then it must all be true. So anyway, here's Trump's numbers. 3% guilt, 0 shame, 50% anger. Let me just check that one and see if it's the same. Yes. 0 fear. He has a lot of support behind him that's beyond this 1% energy. And so this is why he can do this fearlessly. He's got 50% martyr. He's a hard worker. He is 100% in his body and 100% conscious. And he has 100% passion. His heart, let me double check, is 95% open, which is surprising in spite of all the garbage that's being sent in his direction. He has a plus 30 for his ascension, and he is not an adrenochrome addict. So I'm an advocate for them doing some drug testing for the candidates and doing an adrenochrome test. I can't remember where I read it, but there's a test that they can do to see if they've been, because it is a natural substance that can also be generated in our body through high amounts of fear in our own body. But there must be some kind of threshold or markers that indicate what's beyond the normal thresholds and what is obviously over those thresholds. So I'd love to see that rolled out, and I think that'll certainly change the whole game. All right, any other questions? Yes, as a soul, I don't consent. As a human, I don't consent. I just say no. All right, everybody. So remember, let me just double check here on Facebook, sorry. If there's any questions here before I take off. Catherine, I have not met you, so good. Let's take a peek at Catherine before we end here. Yeah, so you would, right now your martyr, fear, and anger energies are all at about 50%. So you wouldn't feel like a martyr, you wouldn't feel angry, but those are energies that are just high enough to, the anger would kind of make you feel a little bit on edge, judgmental of yourself, judgmental of others, and a little bit kind of always on that buzzy kind of edge, you know, where you could get angry. But right now they're all at 50%, so you're not going to really feel particularly angry. Is that happy face saying, yeah, that's true? So there's that, and you have a big open heart. That's nice. That's always nice to see. The one thing that you're working on, or would like to work on maybe, is okay, good. Catherine says yes. Is your money vibration. So maybe not manifesting quite the way you'd like to. Your money vibration is at about 500. So that is definitely on the lower side of things. So in that 20-minute meditation, the last part of it is also designed to help you raise your money vibration. So that's the beauty of that 20-minute exercise or meditation. I call it a meta clearing, because it's not only walking you through a meditation like what is that called when you follow someone's voice? A guided meditation. That it's also clearing energies. It's not just meant to help you relax. It's meant to help you clear the energies that are bringing your vibration down. Yes, the current energy is making her on edge. So thank you for validating that. And if you want to say, oh, yes, true. I guess that refers to the money piece. Okay, good. So get that 20-minute meditation and practice it every day. You've seen other people here. Janice, who's, is starting to raise her vibration by listening to that. She does it a couple times a day. So the more you listen to it and really pay attention to what's going on in your body, as opposed to just kind of mindlessly listening to something, really pay attention to how you're being guided through these channels, through this journey, through your energy field, so that you can really start paying attention to what's going on in here. You could connect with your body. That's where all your answers and information are. So, having said that, we'll meet you back here on Friday for Friday's Inspiration, where I will be doing a meta clearing on something very specific. I haven't decided what. Kind of like to wait and see what's coming up in the ethers. But we're going to be doing a meta clearing on something very specific. So be sure to come back and raise your vibrations with more great energy work. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, we're leaving as well. So thank you, and we'll see you on Friday. And until we meet again, keep asking my favorite question, right? How does it get any better than this? Let the universe show you. It always gets better. A little better, a lot better. Can always get better. All right. Sending much love. Namaste.